Customer education is one of the most important aspects of the customer experience. The relationship you create at the beginning of a job continues beyond the installation and after you have left the home. As the face of DISH, your interaction sets the tone for your customer's overall experience with DISH. Along with the new user interface, DISH is introducing a new remote, the 52.0, that will change some of the ways that you are used to performing customer education. Customer education will take you approximately 22 minutes to complete when following this standard process, but could take some additional time depending on the customer's configuration. It is critical that you provide customer education at Joey locations after you have completed the process at the Hopper location to ensure confidence with the whole system. The customer ed you're about to see will cover the new Getting Started guide and Hopper Features guide that you will begin to see with the upcoming release of our new products. This standard customer education process will leave your customers excited and confident about their new system. Let's watch Gabe as he walks a new customer through their system using the Getting Started guide with the new remote and new UI.
All right, Mark, we've got your new Hopper system all set up and ready to go. If you're ready to get going here, I can teach you how to use the system.
I'm ready.
Well, here's your new remote. Also,
Right.
I've got some new information here for you. Our Hopper Features guide explains some of the advanced features of the system, new applications and things like that. If you want to just kind of set that aside for now while we go over the basics and get you up and running.
Okay,
Sound good?
I'm ready.
Alrighty. The first feature that I want to show you is something to help you out with the system if you get stuck. If you press and hold the info button down on the remote, it's going to display an overlay on the screen that shows you helpful information to navigate throughout the system. And I'll go back to this and help you out as we go. So another great feature of the Hopper remote is that you can actually use the receiver to find it if you misplace it. On the front panel of the receiver, there's a locate remote button. Simply press that down and hold it for a few seconds. The remote will create an audible tone that you can use to help you find it.
Oh, that's great. I lose my remote all the time, so
Yeah,
that's very helpful.
I know what you mean. So in addition to the locate remote feature, I've also placed some stickers on the back of the remote to remind you which TV location and which input that your TV is to be set to for viewing TV at that location.
Thanks.
And while we're at it, why don't we go ahead and try out the locate remote feature just to make sure it works.
All right. Wow, it really works.
Isn't
That's
that
good,
neat?
Yeah.
Also, I've programmed your remote during receiver setup to control your TV power and volume for you as well.
Great.
At the top of the remote, you'll see that there are two different power buttons. The one on the left is going to be the satellite receiver power. The one on the right is going to be dedicated for the TV power.
Okay.
Now, the power button that's on the left is by default the satellite receiver power button, although it can also be used to turn on and off other devices such as Blu-ray players or soundbars that you have programmed as well.
I have a lot of different devices, and it's really cool to control it from one remote.
It's really nice to have just one remote for the entire system. Okay, so when you're navigating through the system, you're going to use the arrows that are up on the remote pad there at the top. Those are surrounding the select button. You're going to use your arrows to highlight different features or channels in the system, and then the select button to choose that option.
Okay.
Now we'll talk about changing channels. You can either use the channel up and down button, the number pad on the remote to select a specific channel, or you can use the guide. Okay, so now that we're in the guide, you can use those navigation arrows to move around the screen. And you can go left and right as well.
That's cool. I like how I see all the shows available.
So the center select button can be used to choose the channel that you want to watch, or if you want to exit the guide without making any changes, you can use the back button.
Okay.
So pressing the back button once is going to take you back one screen at a time, or if you press and hold that, it serves as the View Live TV button, which takes you all the way back to watching live TV.
While DVR functionality is something most customers say they are familiar with, it is also a driver of calls into the call center. After you complete the entire customer education process with your customer at the Hopper, be sure your customer knows how to access and use the DVR when you are at the Joey locations.
So now that we've covered the basics of the remote, we can talk about some of the specific DVR features.
Okay.
Right underneath the directional arrows is the pause play button. If you press that, you can pause live TV for up to an hour, even if you're not recording the program.
Up to an hour?
Up to an hour.
Wow.
Pressing it again will pick up right where it left off.
That's easy enough.
That way you don't have to miss any of your programming.
That's great.
So let's say that you missed something that was said. Right next to the play pause button, To the left of that is the skip back, and to the right of that is the skip forward button. You can skip back 10 seconds at a time or skip forward 30 seconds at a time.
Oh wow, that's really helpful.
It's great for quickly navigating throughout
Yeah,
a
and for
recording.
sports too, that'd be great.
Assuming that you're not watching live TV,
Oh, well, of course.
because we can't skip past live TV.
Yeah.
So if you press and hold either the skip forward or the skip back buttons, you can fast forward or rewind throughout the program.
Okay.
Now tapping that button multiple times after it's in fast forward or rewind mode will cause it to speed up so that you can get through the program faster.
Oh, that's really easy to skip the commercials.
Then where you get where you want to be, you just press the play button and it picks up from there.
All right, that's easy.
So now let's talk about recording a program.
Okay.
If you want to record a program from live TV, simply press the select button.
Oh wow, that's really easy.
Then you can use the arrows to navigate over to record this or to record the entire series.
Great.
We can also use the program guide. You bring the guide up, we can use the arrows to move around and find the program that we want to record. Simply press select to choose that, and then we have our recording options there.
Oh, great.
Okay, and while we're at it, let's record a few moments of this program so I have something to show you how to manage your DVR.
Okay.
And if you accidentally record something that you didn't mean to, you can stop it mid-recording by pressing select again and highlighting stop recording. Now that we have a recording to work with, let's show you your DVR. If you press the DVR button at the top of the remote, this is where you manage all your recordings. Use the arrows on your remote to highlight the recording in your DVR that you want to watch. Press select. That'll highlight watch, and you can press select again to watch that program. So to manage your recordings while on the DVR recording screen, press the options button. From here you can move things into different folders, you can delete recordings, or manage your timers.
All right.
Now, do you remember how to get out of these menus?
I think I do. Do I hold down the back button to get to live TV?
If you want to go all the way back to live TV, you hold down the button, or if you just want to go back one screen at a time, just simply tap the button.
All right.
Very good. Okay, Mark, so now that we've covered the basics of live TV and recording a program, let's talk about your home menu and some of the other content that you have available.
Okay.
So the home button looks like a house on the remote. If you press that, one time it takes you to the home menu, but I want you to press it twice to go to the main menu. And here you can see we have access to the video on demand content. So if you could highlight that for me with your arrows and press select. Now that we've got that content pulled up, you can see there's a lot of free on-demand programming that you can choose from, as well as new releases and other rentals that are available as well.
Improved search is one of the biggest changes of the new UI, so be sure to take some time to go over how easy it is for your customers to find exactly what they are looking for with only minimal inputs. The settings menu is not something that most customers would find on their own, so it is an important part of Customer Ed to show them how they can use settings to really customize their dish experience.
So there's a lot of great on-demand content available. If you want to look for something specifically, there's a little magnifying glass on the remote that's going to activate our search feature. You can use this to look for a specific actor, keyword, or title of a movie.
Okay.
And if you go ahead and start looking for, let's say you wanted to watch the new movie with The Rock in it.
Oh yeah.
Let's look him up by his real name, Dwayne Johnson. If you start to type in, it's going to show the most popular search results on the right-hand side.
Oh whoa, I see his name right there.
Once you see his name pop up on the screen, you can use the arrows to highlight over, or you can press the number that's next to the option
Oh, so
on
I'll
the
press
remote.
8? Oh.
There you go.
Oh wow, that's really easy.
And on this screen, you're going to see all of the results for that search. So here it shows you all of the movies that he's been featured in on all of our on-demand content, as well as what's available on live TV.
Oh, everything's just right there. That's awesome.
Yep, all in one place. All right, Mark, so now I want to take you back to the main menu and show you some of the settings that you can use to customize your system and make it a little more user-friendly for yourself. So if you just want to hit the home button twice to take us back to that main menu, and there on this screen you'll see the settings option. Go ahead and highlight that for me and press select.
Okay.
Great, and there's two main things that I want to point out to you here. We have a favorite channels as well as parental controls options on here. So I want to start off with our favorite channels there. Go ahead and highlight that and press select. And what you have here is 4 different lists that you can customize and essentially create your own program guide. So if you have multiple users in the house, each person can have their own list and their own favorites channels. That way you can just go to the guide, select your list, and you don't have to sift through all of the content, just the stuff that you want to see.
Oh, that's great, because people in my house, we all watch different stuff.
So highlight that, press select, and then edit channels. And here you have a list of all of the channels. You can go through and select all of your favorites, add them to the list and save it, and you're good to go. All right, so from the settings menu here, we can select parental controls. So if you just arrow over to highlight that and press select, and then from here, if you want to arrow down and scroll down through this menu, we have a lot of different options for what we call parental controls. Here you have the ability to hide adult programs or mature content. You can lock specific channels, set TV ratings, and even restrict purchases so that you can't accidentally purchase video on demand or pay-per-view content that you didn't mean to.
Okay, that's very helpful, yeah.
So let's talk applications. We've got some apps on this receiver that are really cool. So if you press the apps button on your remote, we've got everything from social media, sports, music.
Oh, wow.
Everything you need. Now there's another way to view this content as well from live TV. Hold the back button to get back to live TV. Now when we hit the apps button, it'll bring up a bar at the bottom of the screen that overlays the content. That way you don't miss what you're watching live while you're looking for your app content. We've covered some of the fun features of the Hopper, but there's even more in the Hopper Features Guide that goes into much more detail that you can enjoy as well.
Now that you've covered most of the basic functionality of the remote and system, it's time to show your customers the Hopper Features Guide, which includes some of the key features that are not covered in the Getting Started Guide. Make sure to at least cover these key features. Pausing TV and changing rooms. Show the customer how to pause live TV and resume it in another room. Primetime Anytime. Point out the steps for the customer to enable and customize the networks and times to record. An additional feature of Primetime Anytime is AutoHop. This gives you the ability to skip commercials on recorded shows that display a red kangaroo before the title in the show thumbnail. And Dish Anywhere. Provide the customer a quick overview of the benefits of Dish Anywhere, such as the ability to do the following on the go from their mobile device. Watch live TV, watch recorded TV, watch on-demand content, and manage their DVR. Then, educate them on how to download the app to their preferred mobile devices. Again, since these features are some of the most exciting, walk the customer through them using the Hopper Features Guide. No customer education is complete without walking the customer through the 5 key troubleshooting steps that will solve the majority of issues they might experience.
So just in case you get into trouble, Mark, because I know there's a lot of features that we covered, so if you get stuck, there are some things built into the Hopper to help you out.
Okay.
Such as the help overlay that we used earlier by holding down the info button, or you can access the help app from the settings menu. And here we can review frequently asked questions that a lot of customers have, common issues that occur. So here from the frequently asked questions screen, you'll see a list of questions that customers often have, as well as the answers to those questions.
Oh, that's nice. That's very helpful.
So one of the most common issues that we have that you can resolve on your own is with the TV being on the wrong input. Sometimes when you turn the TV on, you might see a black, blue, or snowy screen. This suggests that the Hopper isn't on the right input on the TV.
Okay.
So on the side of your remote, you'll see a few buttons there. If you press the TV button, that puts the remote in the mode to control the TV itself. If you press the input button on the side there, until we get back to where we can see the video from the Hopper. Okay, and don't forget, once the video is restored from your Hopper, you want to put your remote back in SAT mode so that you're ready to control the receiver functions. So placing your remote back in SAT mode to control the receiver functions is actually the first step in our troubleshooting steps. We've put 5 troubleshooting steps on the back of your Getting Started guide that can resolve 75% of most technical problems. So directly beneath the troubleshooting steps on here, we have written down Hopper and Joey locations. So if you have multiple remotes, we've actually written down what room and what input that those remotes belong to as well, in addition to the stickers on the back of the remote.
Oh, wow. Thanks for doing that.
No problem. And also, if you do need to get in contact with us, in the back of the Getting Started guide is our phone number, website, or you can watch channel 103 for the Hopper how-tos and how to get all the great information out of your system.
Thanks. I'll keep that close by for sure.
All right, Mark, I know we've covered a lot. Do you have any questions for me?
No, you've been pretty helpful with this whole thing, so I think I'm good.
Right on, I appreciate that. I just want to make sure that you've got all the basics covered, so I'm going to ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
Okay.
Let's start with, if I go to the guide and I don't see all the channels that I expect to see, what might be the problem?
I think my problem would be my favorites list. Am I right?
You're right. How do we
Nice.
get there?
I would navigate to the home menu.
Ending the customer education with a good-natured quiz is a great way to ensure the customer absorbed what you taught them and knows how to fix some common problems that lead to calls and repair work orders. Also, asking questions during the process is a great way to keep your customers engaged in the process. By utilizing the Getting Started Guide and Hopper Features Guide, you will be able to walk your customers through the use of their system with the new UI and new remotes with ease. This will create a great customer experience and is a hugely important way to reduce repair work orders. If the customer gets stuck or asks questions, be patient and go over the trouble sections again. You are the expert here, and customer education is key to. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you again soon.